So by far the best part of this video is going to be the new reveal about the hero. I love it. But anyways, let's get into it. So there's actually this massive developer take update. It's pretty big. So let's get straight into it. It does regard the new hero and some pretty big balance changes that we're going to be looking out for. So let's start at the top. There's a lot in the community that is being discussed, and we're excited for this week. I'd love to briefly touch on a bunch of those topics, starting with the first one, Flashpoint. We talked about Flashpoint during the livestream and then some of the points around its design over Twitter, but nothing compares to a picture. It's good practice to draw paper maps before building new levels, especially when it's a part of the process for designing a new game mode. They then post this picture right here, and it says, this image was one of the first ones drawn for Flashpoint. The final layout of Saravasa, sorry if I'm butchering that, won't be exactly like this. For instance, there won't be a river dividing the map into two, but it does a good job of showing how a Flashpoint map is designed. There are 2 spawn points for each team and 5 points arranged in an X pattern. We talked about the quasi-symmetrical nature of the map on Overwatch 2 Invasion Reveal livestream. And when you look at point B, for instance, you can see that the entrances to the arena are all symmetrical, with this symmetry extending outside of the point for a short distance. Another detail about Flashpoint I mentioned on livestream is that when the match starts, the first point will be picked randomly. In actuality, this has changed so that the first objective will always be the center point of the map. So in this case, it would be A, it would be center point A, that'd be the first point no matter what, and then I guess after that it would be random, I suppose. The next 2 topics are the most important. It's game balance, massive mid-season patch coming, it's obvious, they tell us all the different heroes that are going to be changed. On top of that, new info about the hero, but before getting into it, quick word from today's sponsor. This video is sponsored by War Thunder. Man, this game is extremely comprehensive, beautiful to look at, and feature-packed. My goodness, is the gameplay insane. You can play over 2,000 different ships, planes, and tanks. All this in PvP battle, which is my personal favorite. And I'll be honest, it's extremely accessible to anyone, as you can play it on PC, Xbox, as well as PlayStation, and they include the last-gen consoles as well. The sheer amount of detail is quite impressive, and the best part is that it spans over 100 years worth of vehicles, starting from the 1920s all the way to present day. So there's literally a vehicle for everyone, no matter which time period or vehicle you want to play. I feel that it's just so satisfying to keep playing different vehicles across different time periods in history. It just kind of keeps things fresh and engaging, right? It's not the same thing happening over and over, and instead you can keep switching things up and definitely double down on the vehicles that you enjoy playing. Not only is it immersive, it's intense, and again, the PvP battles just keep getting more exciting and more exciting the better you get at the game. It's absolutely free to play, and once again, you can play it on PC, PlayStation, or Xbox, so what are you waiting for? Check it out today. Furthermore, by registering on PC and using my link, you get a massive bonus pack with premium vehicles, boosters, and a ton more, so what are you waiting for? Use the link down below to check out War Thunder. Next, they talk about balance. Game balance this season continues to be in great shape, they say. With Season 5, we saw Junker Queen's dominant reign over the tank role even out, making way for more diverse selection of heroes, with Winston and D.Va on the rise. Damage heroes notably saw a shift in play rate, with the previously popular picks like Tracer and Hanzo being overtaken by Genji and Cassidy. Support is seeing a notable increase in both Brigitte and Lifeweaver team compositions as well. Earlier this week, we pushed a small balance update to fine-tune Cassidy, Mei, and Lifeweaver after they received some significant adjustments to their abilities at the start of the season. What we found was that Cassidy's magnetic grenade was slightly too easy to land. Mei's overall effectiveness dropped as she traded damage for slowing utility, and Lifeweaver's impact was much greater than before. We're still looking to improve player control over aiming Thorn Volley. There are more hero balance changes coming in the mid-season patch, which include shifting power for Torbjorn and Symmetra away from their turrets and into the rest of their kit, improving the control over Sojourn's railgun primary fire spread, increasing the frontline capability of Reinhardt and Orisa, slight adjustments to weaken Zenyatta's Discord orb ability, and several others. So we got a massive patch coming our way. Massive. Next is cinematics. We've developed quite a few cinematics to be used in the Invasion story mission as well as outside of it. As much as we can, we try to tell stories in the missions without taking control away from the players. We prefer the gameplay in these missions to be uninterrupted. The stories in these missions are told in 2 different ways. First, the missions themselves are each centered around a piece of narrative. We record an incredible amount of voice lines for each mission, and depending upon which heroes are selected, players will get different interactions and sub-stories in each mission. Second, each mission is bookended with 2 cinematics, and the heavy lifting of driving the plot forward is handled through these cinematics. In addition to these sequences, we have other pieces coming out in Season 5 to set up the story and we're telling in Overwatch 2 Invasion as well. There's a thread connecting many of the cinematics we've released over the year, including Are You With Us, the startup piece that shipped with the original game, and 0 Hour, the short shown at BlizzCon 2019. Years ago, in our story, Overwatch was forced to disband. We've been gradually telling the story of how the original heroes of Overwatch have come back together. Next season's Invasion story missions connect many of these threads. How will some of the heroes familiar to our players be introduced to Overwatch? What is Cassidy going to do with the new crew he recruited in the New Blood comic series? Keep a lookout for more pieces coming later, this year and beyond. Some of these relate to the story that we're telling in Invasion, and some don't. One in particular is completely out of left field, but totally amazing. Next, we have the new hero. This one's by far the most interesting. I can't say too much about the new hero. We'll do a full reveal later before Overwatch 2 Invasion launches, but I'm not above teasing a bit. Earlier in June, we gave players a quick glimpse of her silhouette, and the internet immediately went into work enhancing the video and giving her more definition. Someone even created a concept piece for her. We knew people would do this, and we were surprised about how many details they got right about her look. I like to recognize this detective work by revealing an image that is an integral part of the hero's backstory. Enjoy. Solar Threading Ritual. That's it for this week. In a future piece, we'll dive a bit more about the story that we developed. Thanks for reading and see you in game. So the art they're talking about, I've showed you on screen. So pretty much they're saying this is a pretty good, not an exact, but a pretty good representation of the next hero. And I'm not gonna lie, they look amazing. Like the aesthetic, this one's directly from Blizzard, looks really cool. It looks solid. I am definitely hyped for the new hero. Balance change is also coming mid-season. They're going to shake up the game like usual, but it's not something that we haven't seen before. I'm tending to kind of get hate when I'm hating back at Blizzard now. Not too sure why. I did feel a little bit disappointed that they've already confirmed that there's only 2 cinematics per mission. In my opinion, this means there'll be an intro and an outro, kind of further proving that whole souped up archive events. But in the end, we got to roll our eyes and move on with life. There's nothing, I don't want to keep complaining about it too much more. But hey, when it comes to the new hero, I'm definitely hyped with that. But yeah, not too much gets me excited anymore with Overwatch, not gonna lie. New heroes are probably about it. And the next one's supposed to be big with Invasion and everything. It's Blizzard's chance to kind of reignite Overwatch a little bit. But hey, maybe just because I'm burnt out doesn't mean you guys are. Let me know what you think down below.